So this, whatever learnings we're going to discuss over the next 5 sessions is primarily based on wisdom of Bhagavad Gita. I'm sure it's something which everyone will be familiar with. So it is something different from what we study normally in our schools and colleges. That is gross education. This is very subtle education. Yeah. So it'll require a lot of attention and concentration to assimilate what we hear. So my sincere request to be very attentive and focused while we go through these sessions. And brief introduction, I'll give myself. My name is Madan Govind Das, and my earlier name was Munish Nandavani. So I worked with Hindustan Lever across various locations, and then Johnson & Johnson for almost 5 years. And I was out of India for 2 years in Colombo and Jakarta, and then came back and dedicated myself to the wisdom of Bhagavad Gita. So since then, last 4 or 5 years, almost 5 6 years now, I'm trying to learn and teach to the extent I learn. Yeah. So be patient. It's a journey, 5 sessions at least, and the journey I'm sure will continue even after 5 sessions. Okay, so it'll require a lot of patience and at the same time enthusiasm to stay connected to the next 5 sessions. Yeah. So we'll have good time for questions and answers, so be patient. If you have any question, you can write it down. Towards the end, we'll try to answer so that we don't get deviated from the subject. Okay, so can we start, if you all permit? Okay. So I'm going to share a presentation. Bandwidth is low. Okay. Is it visible to everyone? Okay, so 5 sessions, and the first session is called as Search for Happiness. So today primarily we'll focus on this subject. So it'll take maybe 1.5 hours or so. So if it gets extended by 10-15 minutes, so pardon me. Yeah, so please bear with me. So the subject, if it has a lot of questions towards the end, so it might get extended sometime, 15-20 minutes or so. So first of all, I would like to congratulate everyone. There are not many takers of this wisdom. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Manushya Nam Sahastreshu Kaschit Yati Siddhai. Out of thousands and lakhs of people, one will come forward to understand this wisdom, this knowledge. Like, you don't find too many customers in a jewelry shop, isn't it? Not everyone can afford or eligible to enter into jewelry shop and buy diamonds, gold, silver. Similarly, not everyone is eligible to understand this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. So, you are very fortunate that somehow Krishna inspired you from within to come forward and register for this course. There are two dates important in one's life. Yeah. One is when you're born. And everyone almost remembers his birth date. And the second most important date is when you understand, when you find out why you were born. Not many people ask this question. They'll remember their birth date without exception, without fail. But they do not have the curiosity or eagerness to find out why were they born. It's a very important question. This why is very, very important. Not many people ask such intellectual, philosophical questions. And hence they do not get revealed to many untold truths of life unless they inquire. Yeah. Here you have Einstein, who also inquired when he saw that there was an apple falling from the tree. So he started contemplating that. He started thinking, how did this apple fall down? Why did it not fly into the sky? When he was contemplating, when he was thinking about it, when he was inquiring, trying to find the reason behind this why, he discovered the law of gravity. So every why takes one to the high, takes one's knowledge, consciousness, wisdom elevated immediately. And you will understand many such questions going forward and try to find answers to those questions. And mind you, these questions and these answers are available only in Bhagavad Gita. That's why this knowledge is called as Raj Vidya Raj Guhyam. In the 9th chapter, Krishna says, Raj Vidya means it is the king of education. At the same time, Raj Guhyam, Guhyam you all understand, the most confidential knowledge. Gopniya, Rahasya in Hindi, you may call it. So when you go through these 5 sessions, you'll have many eureka moments. Okay. I'll try to use Hindi also. I've got a request to use Hindi also. Okay. So जब आप इसको पढ़ेंगे और अगले 5 जो सेशंस हम करने वाले हैं, you will discover many truths of life which are not known to us. ऐसे बहुत से रहस्य हमारे सामने खुलेंगे जो हमने अभी तक इसके बारे में हमें कोई जानकारी नहीं. Raj Vidya means it is claimed in Bhagavad Gita. If you understand Bhagavad Gita, if you get this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, you actually don't require any other knowledge. It is self-sufficient to serve every purpose of life. And it's not a very big book. It's a small book. Only 700 verses. Only 18 chapters. Like, you know, when you buy a LCD television or any gadget for that matter, your mobile, it comes along with the manual. जब भी आप कोई नई चीज खरीदते हैं, उसके साथ में एक निर्देश पुस्तिका मिलती है, manual मिलता है. And what is the purpose of the manual? How to use that gadget. जो चीज आपने खरीदी है, उसका इस्तेमाल कैसे किया जाए. And how to troubleshoot if you have problems with the gadget. कोई समस्या है तो उसका समाधान कैसे किया जाए. और ये निर्देश पुस्तिका कब बनती है? When is this manual made? When the product is manufactured. So the only manufacturer can give you the manual. How to use it, how to troubleshoot it. Similarly, Bhagavad Gita originally came into existence at the time of creation, when this material world was manufactured. And the creator gave this manual along with this material world and this human body. How to use this human body, and if there are troubles, how to troubleshoot them. यदि कोई समस्या आती है जीवन में तो उसका समाधान कैसे किया जाए. So Bhagavad Gita is like a manual. If one does not know it, he cannot live his life purposefully. यदि किसने भगवद गीता नहीं पढ़ी है तो उसका जीवन सार्थक होना बहुत मुश्किल है. मेरी हिंदी थोड़ी कमजोर है तो प्लीज क्षमा कीजिएगा if I get stuck while searching for the appropriate word. ठीक है. And Bhagavad Gita, it was spoken to Arjuna around 5,000 years back. First ever motivational seminar where on the battlefield. Millions of soldiers around, and in the middle of the battlefield, Krishna is taking a training class or training program for Arjuna and motivating him. He lost all the hopes. He said, I'm not going to fight this battle. So just 45 to 50 minutes, Krishna spoke these 700 verses. And Arjuna was ready to fight. He regained all his confidence, enthusiasm, will. So we also face many problems like Arjuna in our life. We get demotivated, lose all the hopes. So we require a dose of Bhagavad Gita to again get enlivened, to get remotivated, to get that enthusiasm back into our life. So very, very important subject matter for everyone. And it is not meant for a certain section of society. Very, very important to understand. It is a universal knowledge. When we say universal means like 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. It is a universal truth. It's not that in India it is 2 plus 2, 4, and in America it is 2 plus 2, 5. No, it's a universal fact. Similarly, Bhagavad Gita is universal, applicable to each and everyone, irrespective of his outer external identity, whether he is Indian or American or Russian or whatever, doesn't matter. As long as you have this body, it is applicable to you. Whether it is Abdul Kalam Azad or Einstein, the greatest scientist, or Mahatma Gandhi, a well-known personality in India, all of them have read Bhagavad Gita. And it is published in more than 80 languages across the world. So it is a supreme science and answers many open questions which our material science has not been able to find answers to. If you search on Google and ask for open questions which are yet to be answered in our material science, you will find those answers in the pages of Bhagavad Gita. So I'm not going to read these remarks which these personalities have given. In summary, Abdul Kalam Azad is talking about that how Bhagavad Gita provides positive outlook in life. Everybody goes through difficult times in his life, many problems. But how to remain positive in all such situations, which has a potential of demotivating us, the best book to be referred is Bhagavad Gita. Einstein is making a remark which will definitely increase our faith in somebody who is controlling this entire universe, or in a nutshell, increase our faith in somebody called as God. Scientifically, the greatest scientist is saying, whatever I discover is nothing in front of what I find in the pages of Bhagavad Gita. And Mahatma Gandhi is saying, my life has been full of external tragedies, and if they have not left any visible impact on me, I owe this to the teachings of Bhagavad Gita. So it increases our immunity to external problems of life or external tragedies in life. So what can be more important than this knowledge, which can help us how to live this life peacefully and meaningfully and purposefully? So anyone and everyone can benefit from this. Even our most reputed management institutes, Indian Institute of Management, they have introduced lessons of Bhagavad Gita in their curriculum. Yeah. What purpose? To train their future leaders, corporate leaders, how to deal with stress, how to manage people, how to motivate people, how to get work done. While it is not a management book, but it is a byproduct of Bhagavad Gita that you also get many management lessons from this book, which I personally have applied in my, corporate career. Yeah. So when you go through, I'm sure you'll also find this. ISKCON, whom like I'm representing at this point in time, has 7 purposes outlined. And the very first purpose is to systematically propagate spiritual knowledge to society at large and to educate all people in the techniques of spiritual life in order to check the imbalance of values in life and to achieve real unity and peace in the world. Basically, how to ensure people understand this wisdom, this knowledge systematically, scientifically, not like a speculation or what I think or what he thinks or what the other person thinks. No, scientifically based on truth as revealed in our scriptures. So I'm not going to add anything or I'm not going to delete anything from what we have learned from the scripture called Bhagavad Gita. As it is, I'm going to produce in front of you. So as I mentioned, it has 5 sessions. The first one is search for happiness. Second is who controls our destiny. There are many people who believe in God. There are many people who do not believe in God. But what is the real truth? Does God exist or only an imagination? So we scientifically, look at this aspect. Then discover your real identity. Very important question. What is our constitutional position? 99% of people do not know this. There's a huge identity crisis which is going to resolve it for the next 5 sessions. What is our real identity? Who am I actually? Yeah. And then the 4th session will talk about why do good people suffer? We see so many good people have died out of this disease called corona or many other cases. Some good person met with an accident, he had a heart attack previous night and he died. So many such stories we hear every now and then. So why do good things happen to bad people at the same time? Why do bad things happen to good people? Okay. So what is the law of karma as described in Bhagavad Gita? We'll talk about. See, these days, every student aspires to get admission in IIT, isn't it? IIT, IIMs. And they work so hard for it. Day and night, they forget even to eat, they forget even to drink. So they get good admission in some good college. But we are not worried at all. Where do we get admission in our next life? No one is bothered which body we will get. We'll get a body of human, we'll get a body of dog or a cat or a rat or a tree. No one is working hard, isn't it? So we have to learn from these, all students who are aspiring for IIT. They start working, 6-7 years in advance, start, taking coaching and start preparing how to get good college, admission to good college. But people are not worried about this aspect at all, as far as their life is concerned. And the next and the most important session we'll talk about, practical aspects of spirituality. What is the source of real lasting happiness? Everybody is searching for it, and they keep searching only throughout their life. Till the last moment of their life, they're still searching for this something called as happiness. Okay. Very, very important, section in the whole seminar. So all 5 sessions are important and interconnected. So my honest request to everyone, attending this session is that don't miss even a single session. If you move out of the movie and then come back, then you will not enjoy the movie, isn't it? You will miss the climax. So my request is stay the course for the next 5 sessions. Yeah. Trust me, you will not repent. Yeah. So this 5 into 1.5, almost 7 to 8 hours of investment, is not a big investment. You go and watch a movie, couple of movies in a month, you spend 6 to 7 hours. Yes or no? Yeah. So this 8 hours is not a big investment if it promises to make our life perfect, to make our life successful, purposeful. Yeah. So I request everyone that please have patience and sit through these 5 sessions. These sessions have potential to completely transform our life to good. Avoid distractions. Yeah, this is a problem with Zoom. One can get distracted very fast. Everybody sitting in their houses, children around, family around. Somebody's watching television, somebody's in newspaper, cooking in the kitchen. So there's a possibility of getting distracted again and again, again and again. Yeah, that's why people switch off the video so that they can multitask. So my request, keep your videos on so that you stay focused. Yeah, as I mentioned, a subtle science. It is not a gross science, so you have to be attentive to understand, digest, assimilate this knowledge. So focus on your screen, not anywhere else. And make notes. We are in Kali Yuga, our memory is very short. And we will forget by the time this session is over. Within the day, you forget 50% of what you heard. So please make notes. Let's become now student of Bhagavad Gita for next 5 sessions. Behave like a student. Okay. Forget that I am manager, I am CEO, I am vice president, or I am head of the family, or I am this and that. Forget. Now I am a student of Bhagavad Gita. Sitting here to understand some important lessons of life. So please make notes. So you can always revise later on. And keep your mind open. We all have our own conceptions about life, about spiritual life, right? So, Krishna teaches in Bhagavad Gita how to approach a teacher. Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. He says one should remain humble by trying to acquire knowledge. So if you have question, stay humble and ask questions. Okay. Because you'll find many things you may not be able to digest immediately. So calmly, politely, we can ask questions and answers. Okay, we don't have to be in challenging mode. Okay. Whenever there is a challenge, the knowledge transfer stops immediately. Okay. So keep your mind open. We're going to learn something new, something meaningful, may not have heard, previously. We can always ask questions, but keeping the whole environment calm and composed food. Okay. You don't have to get agitated if you don't digest something. And finally, we come to the first subject matter of this seminar, which is search for happiness. It goes without saying that everyone is actually searching for this something called as happiness. Even our scriptures say the same thing. Anandamayo bhyasa. Everybody is searching for only one thing, happiness. Means could be different. Somebody may be trying to search for happiness in his teaching profession. Somebody may be trying to search through his engineering profession, management profession. Somebody may be trying to search happiness in food. Somebody trying to search happiness in shelter, clothing, many, many aspects. But ultimate objective is that we get few moments of happiness. Yes or no? Once there was an interview, of the world's third richest person in a studio. And he was asked, mind you, he's the third richest person in the whole of the world. He's asked, if God appears in front of you right now, what will you ask him? The most wealthiest person is being asked this question. If the Supreme Lord appears in the studio right now in front of you, what will you ask him? He said, few moments of happiness. I'm sure there's no argument on this. Yeah. The end result or end goal, everybody is working so hard that he can remain happy and peaceful in his life. Yeah. But do we deserve the same happiness which animals enjoy, or do we deserve special happiness because we are special? So next few slides are going to discuss about how are we different from so many other species of animals around us, and how are we special, and hence we deserve something special in return in terms of happiness, in terms of peace of mind. Yeah. Very, very important subject matter. So again, as I mentioned, keep your minds open. We're going to discuss everything very, very objectively. Factually. So as I mentioned, you're special, so you deserve something better than what others. How much is the population of our planet? It is 6 billion plus. And what is everybody looking for? One thing, which is happiness. You go to any country, you ask any section of society, male, female, children, adults, college students, or whoever. One. But the problem is, we are searching for something outside which actually lies within. Very important. This is a musk deer. The whole life, this musk deer is searching for something. This deer is something for some fragrance which is constantly coming. The deer is trying to search, where is this fragrance coming from? Is it coming from this tree? Is it coming from this water? From this plant? From this animal? The whole life, this deer spends searching for something which lies within this deer. I'm sure many of you would have used musk fragrance. It comes from this deer, lies within this deer. So there is a ray of hope for everyone that everyone can be perpetually, constantly, eternally happy because it lies within me. I don't have to depend upon anything else externally to remain happy. So it is within everyone's reach. Okay. Our current understanding is unless I have this, I will not be happy. Unless I have this, I will not be happy. Unless I achieve this, I will not be happy. Oh, that is not fact. The fact is you can be happy within yourself without depending upon anyone else. This is the beauty. So your remote control for happiness is not in the hands of other people or other objects. It is in your hand only. And hence, this knowledge assures not occasional happiness, it ensures lasting happiness. It ensures perpetual, constant, eternal happiness. So only this search will only end when we look within, when we look inside, not keep looking outside. Today we look at the source of happiness in different sense objects around us, isn't it? And hence we are searching always. And the search is always on, never gets over, even till the last breath of life is searching. But search can be over the moment we start looking within. And Gita teaches us how to look within and attain this lasting happiness, which is the ultimate goal of this seminar. Okay. So this picture signifies in the most troubled material circumstances, one can remain happy. There is a ray of hope. Sometimes we get agitated the moment something bad happens in life, isn't it? Then we say, okay, there's no reason to be happy. No. In the most fractured life, the most difficult life, the most difficult circumstances, one will have many reasons to be happy, enthusiastic about his life. So there's always a hope in spiritual life. With a simple task for all of you, you can use chat box to answer this question. My question is, make a list of common observable daily activities between animals and human beings. Common. And we are accustomed to seeing animals and human beings around us. What are they doing throughout the day? Just write down quickly, top of your mind, right, in the chat box. Common observable, common between animals and human beings. Quickly, maybe 1 minute. Eating, sleeping, movement, food, breathing, okay. Reproduction, very good. Eating, sleeping, begetting, children, yes. Itching, okay. Khana, pina, sona, sex and moving, crying, yes. Couple of more, love, okay. Eating, sleeping, reproduction, yes. So now it's getting repeated. Thank you very much. So you all have understood. Yeah. Living. So if you analyze all what you said and categorize, common sources of happiness are, of course, eating, entertainment, family life, or reproduction, having children, having relatives, wife, husband, right? Having a shelter, right? And finally, lots of money. Yes, so that you can secure your future. You can put it in property. We'll talk about it. So if you look at activities in human life or animals' life, it largely centers around these few things. And if you further categorize them, these are called seed propensities: sleeping, eating, enjoyment, and defense. Sleeping, this biologically, there are four common biological instincts between human beings and animals. I can see many of your doctors, you'll understand. Biologically, one requires some rest. One cannot work with this body for 24 hours. To keep this body fit, one has to eat. Annad bhavati bhutani. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. Everybody is dependent on grain for living, for his survival. Everybody is looking for enjoyment. Isn't it? We are social people. We need to interact. No one can be happy alone. And finally, defense. Defense against various uncertainties of life, various threats in life. Isn't it? That's why we buy insurance policy. This is one of the defense mechanism. People keep gun at house, pistol at house. People keep chokidar at house. Isn't it? Why? Defense. People buy a property. Why? For future uncertainties, to deal with future uncertainties. So these are called seed propensities, which are common between human beings and animals. Happiness means improved facilities for sleeping. One can define, I'm sorry, I'm using two laptops. That's why I'm sometimes confused which one to press. Sleeping actually means having a good house, cozy bed, air condition, many other facilities to facilitate being able to sleep and take rest and gather this energy once again. Right? Happiness means facilities for eating. Everybody loves eating. We may forget the most important task of the day, but we will never forget eating. The bhook lagti hai, so we can leave everything and jump onto to fill our belly, isn't it? Happiness means improved facilities for enjoyment. And the highest peak enjoyment in material life is sex, having union with opposite sex, mating. Okay. And happiness means improved facilities for enjoyment, which I mentioned, could be in the form of sports, fashion, travel, cinema, or intoxications, or finally, it boils down to having union with the opposite sex. And happiness means improved facilities for defense. Deal with various uncertainties in life. Our future is full of uncertainty, so we take various precautionary measures to deal with such uncertainties. So it's basically, okay, how do we secure our, what is our defense mechanism? As I mentioned, could be in the form of money, bank balance, insurance, property, business, job, family, and many other things. So it's eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. Eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. You can also repeat. 4 common biological instincts between human beings and animals. Animals also have friends. Animals also have fun. Animals also have families. Do you agree? They also find happiness in these 4 things only: eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. Now the question to be asked is, how are we different? You look at this one other example, on Discovery Channel, they share so many documentaries about animals, and all the documentaries focus on these 4 aspects only. Do you agree? Yeah. How to manage food, take rest, produce children, have family, and how to defend seed propensities. And the question I was asking is, how are we human beings different from animals? If the goal of life is these four things, how are we different? It doesn't matter whether one is eating on the dining table or eating, in the street. Propensity is same. Once Alexander, I'm sure all of you have heard about his name. He conquered almost half of the universe, half the world. He came to India. He had a camp, and during night in his camp, one Indian thief came, and he was trying to steal from his camp. And he was trying, whatever he saw, he was trying to gather and go. So his soldiers caught him red-handed and presented him in front of Alexander. So when Alexander was told that this person was stealing different items from the camp, he said, chop him off, kill him immediately. So he ordered his soldiers to kill that thief immediately. And this thief, started arguing. He was saying, why do you want to kill me? He said, because you want to steal. The thief said, tell me what is the difference between you and me? You're also trying to steal countries, land, wealth of people. And I'm also trying to steal something at my own level, whatever little I need. You are stealing countries, I am stealing small, small items. What's the difference between you and me? Why should I be reprimanded? Why should I be killed? Why not you? So it is not the scale which matters, it is the propensity which matters. And the propensity is same. Doesn't matter what you eat, when you eat, how you eat. Eating propensity is same in animals and humans. So it's a very important question to be asked, that what is the difference between animals and humans? If we are also engaged in these four activities, then we are not very different from animals. We are two-legged, civilized, द्विपाद पशु. द्विपाद मतलब दो पांव वाला. Normally animals have four legs. We may have two legs, but the propensity is the same. Everybody is working so hard just to meet these four propensities. Isn't it? Only faces look little more, evolved, more beautiful. Somebody may say human beings have higher level of intelligence. Yeah. But even animals have high level of intelligence. They also need intelligence to arrange for their food. It doesn't happen automatically. According to our scriptures, there are 8.4 million species of life. Padma Puran talks about it. Jalaja Navalakhani. Jalaja Navalakhani means there are 9 lakh species of aquatics which live in water. 20 lakh species of plants, 11 lakh species of insects, worms, and reptiles, 10 lakh species of birds, 30 lakh species of animals, and only 4 lakh species of human beings. Only 4 lakh species out of 84 lakh species. They are special. So they deserve special. They don't deserve happiness like what animals have. Animals also have brain, for that matter. Somebody written, they also use brains. Cat will enter kitchen to drink milk when there is no one in the kitchen. Using, its brain, intelligence, isn't it? So we are special and hence we deserve special. We don't deserve happiness like animals, search for happiness in these four things. Okay. Okay, another question to all of you. We have few animals, available here. Tell me what is the speciality of each animal on this page, on this screen. You have eagle, you have horse, you have dog, you have elephant, you have one human being also. Tell me what is the speciality of each animal shown here. Eagles can fly high, okay, quickly because we have short time. Horse good in running, they can run very fast. Dogs are loyal, okay. Human beings are not loyal. Okay. What else? I can horse. Okay, what else? Go beyond horse and dog. There are many animals visible here. Dogs smell better, yes. Elephants, very sharp memory, okay. Strength. Okay, let me tell you. Eagles can see from a far away distance. Right in the sky, they can see there's an insect as they prey. They'll come down and eat that insect. So eyesight, they can see we can't see beyond certain distance, but eagles can see. Horse can run very, very fast. Horse never sit, you know that? They always stand, very powerful. Dogs can smell what we cannot smell. Elephants can eat in tons of food, tons of grass, but we can't eat beyond 100, 200 grams or 500 grams. Boar can sleep for 6 months, 1 year. And what is speciality of human beings? Nobody is talking about. And all are talking about only animals, emotions. Okay. What else? Nature and develop using that. Okay. What else? Wisdom. Okay. Can pet them all. Okay. Tell me, when you see a man roaming around with a dog in the morning, who is serving whom? Dog is serving the owner or the owner is serving the dog? Tell me. You see every day morning people come out for walk along the dogs and somebody is holding, what do you call, that rope. Who is serving? Dog is serving the owner or the owner is serving the dog? So whose animal is the pet of human being or human being is the pet of animal? It's the owner who is serving the dog. Okay. Decision making. Okay. So all of them have rational power and intelligence. Animals also have rational power, intelligence, to arrange for their food, for shelter, to defend. It's not that they don't have. But still there's a difference between both of them. So as we saw that even animals have so many special skills, even superior to human beings. Right? We can't run as fast as lion. We can't eat as much as elephant. We can't see far like eagle. So they have qualities which are even better than us. Then what's the difference? What makes us human being so special in comparison to animals? Okay. Or we are two-legged, as I mentioned. Dvipad, civilized deluxe edition of animals. We may claim that as humans we have made so much of technological advancement, material advancement. But what is the result of this advancement? Let's see. Anybody can say, we have invented, iPhone, we invented LCD television, car, aeroplane, skyscrapers. medical equipment, so many medicines. But in spite of so much of advancement materially, where do we stand? We are still dissatisfied. We are still full of anxiety. Stress levels are going up, isn't it? Depression is going up. Still, it doesn't prove our worth. Even this material advancement doesn't help us prove that we have something better than animals. But the result is not very satisfactory, not very healthy. Why? Because all the advancement are also centered around sleeping, eating, mating, and defending, not beyond that. So it still doesn't make us different from animals. Limitless expansion, endless entertainment, cutting edge technology, everything at one row. You go to one mall and get everything. Medical advancement at its peak, luxury at our disposal, everything at our fingertips, so many remotes in the house, remote for television, remote for washing machine, remote for AC, remote for this, remote for everything. Smart education, technology replacing human beings. So if somebody is asked to rate in terms of material advancements, everybody will say excellent, no doubt about it. If you look at 20 years back and now, we have made huge progress materially, no doubt about it. But the quality of what we have done is determined by quality of result. What is the result? Isn't it? We have everything we need to be happy, but we aren't happy. Something is missing. Do you all agree? Stress levels have gone up. Do you agree? Depression is going up. Suicide rate is going up. So in spite of so much of advancement, all these things are going up. If the result is this, then what is the quality of all advancement? Somebody wrote a nice, poetry around this paradox of life. We have taller buildings, but shorter tempers. We buy more, but enjoy it less. We have bigger houses, but smaller families. More conveniences, but less time to enjoy those conveniences. More medicine, but less wellness. We have multiplied our possessions, but reduced our values. We have learned how to make a living to fill belly, but not how to live life. We have higher incomes, but lower morals. Times of fast food, but slow digestion. More kinds of food, but less nutrition. Days of two incomes, husband, wife, both working, but more divorces. Fancier houses, but broken homes. Is it not a reality of today, current modern era, modern society? We may have won the battle, but lost the war. We can win small battles, but you're lost. This war of life. There's a book called as The American Paradox. Spiritual hunger in an age of plenty. We have so many things in plenty, but still we are hungry. The divorce rate in the most advanced country materially has doubled. Teen suicide rate has tripled. Violent crime has quadrupled 4 times. Prison population, it means crimes, become 5 times. Illegitimate children, illicit connections has become 6 times. And depression has become 10 times. This is the result after the most advancement. That's why we call America as developed country. Isn't most advanced country, and this is the result. So with this result, we can evaluate the quality of advancement very easily. This is life, and this is in mess actually. Do you all agree with what is written here? Yes or no? We have conquered outer space, but not inner space. So we come back to the same principle that what we are searching outside actually lies inside. We are yet to conquer our selves or our inner space. The moment we start focusing on this, then this result will start turning positive. That's why it is journey of self-discovery. We have discovered enough outside. Let's spend some quality time to discover inside. Yeah. So what makes human beings superior to animals? Let's understand from our scriptures. Mahabharata talks about this. How are animals and human beings different? It says, Ahar Nidra Bhai Maithunam Cha Samanyam Etat Pashubhir Naranam Dharmo Hitesham Adhiko Vishesho Dharme Nahina Pashubhi Samana. So these four propensities, ahara, eating, nidra, sleeping, bhai means defending, maithunam means procreation, family, children, reproduction. Samanyam etat pashubhi naranam, pashu or nar, yani ki human beings and animals, these things are common. No difference. All are busy doing the same things. Dharmo hi tesham adhiko vishesho dharme nahina pashubi samana. Then what differentiate between human beings and animals is dharma. Dharma means our spiritual duties. That differentiates. Animals cannot read Bhagavad Gita. Animals cannot attend a Zoom call to understand the purpose of life. Only human beings. They have this ability to find answers to these questions. Dharmo hitesham adhiko vishesho. Dharmena hina means without dharma, pashubi samana, like animals. The activities of eating, sleeping, mating, and defending are common in animals and human beings. The human beings are considered superior only when they inquire about God and perform the dharma of obeying his laws. We all are accustomed to obey the laws of this country, this state. But what about the laws of this cosmic nature? Who will obey them? It is meant for human beings, not for animals. If one does not have this propensity to inquire and know more about the superior truth, they are as good as animals, not very different. Dvipad Pashu. You see, you find this red light, to control traffic. It is meant for human beings or animals. If a human being crosses red light, he's immediately punished. Yes or no? But if a dog crosses this red light, nobody bothers. Why? Because human beings have the ability to discriminate what is good, what is bad, what is law, what is against the law. So this is only a state law, only a traffic law. What about the law of nature, law of this cosmic universe? Like every state, every country is governed by a set of laws. This universe is also governed by a set of laws. What about them? Do we know what are these laws? Do we know whether we are complying with or violating these laws? We don't know. We need to know. Otherwise, we're liable for punishment. And when punishment comes, we get bewildered. Why with me? Why do bad things happen with good people? We ask this question. अरे कितना अच्छा आदमी था ये, उसको heart attack हो गया. We are bewildered because we don't know cause and impact, cause and effect. What is the cause and what is the effect? The relationship. And hence we need to study laws of nature, laws of cosmic, and then see whether we're complying or not. And then prevent, this kind of punishment. Okay, so difference between animals and human beings. Very, very important slide. Animals can inquire. They also have rational, they also have intelligence, but limited to inquiry about eating, sleeping, mating, and fearing. They can't inquire about God. They can't inquire about why sun rises, why sun sets. They only inquire about खाना कहाँ पर है, सोना कहाँ पर है, कैसे अपने आप को बचाना है. That's it. And human beings have the ability to inquire about life, death, and beyond. What happens after this life? Animals cannot inquire. We have to inquire. Like I mentioned, IIT aspiring student is so worried about his admission in IIT and hence preparing hard for it. But we have no idea about next admission and hence no preparation. Isn't it? So human life is meant for this, not for eating, sleeping, mating, and fearing only. Those are biological things need to be managed. But the purpose of human life is much beyond these four seed propensities. Okay. Making sense so far, or is it going beyond? Just give me some confidence. Are you able to follow what I'm saying? Is it making sense? Quick messages? Yes? Okay, thank you. Okay, let's move ahead. That's why the very first aphorism in Vedanta Sutra is Athato Brahma Jigyasa. Now that you have human life, inquire about God. Inquire about how this material universe is functioning. Inquire about your real identity. Inquire about purpose of life. Not live like animals, eating, sleeping, mating, and then dying and again becoming animal, again eating, sleeping, mating, defending. No, that is not the purpose of life. Athato Brahma. Brahma means superior truth, which is beyond these four seed propensities. Inquire about them. Jigyasa means make an inquiry. इस जिज्ञासा को व्यक्त करो कि इस ब्रह्मांड को, इस जगत को कौन चला रहा है? अपने आप चल रहा है क्या? हमारी एक कंपनी अपने आप नहीं चलती है, उसको चलाने के लिए कितने लोग चाहिए होते हैं? बोर्ड ऑफ डायरेक्टर्स, मार्केटिंग डायरेक्टर, ह्यूमन रिसोर्स डायरेक्टर, सेल्स डायरेक्टर, so many people, factory director, isn't it? Finance person, marketing person. But how is this universe being managed? One has to inquire. So the first responsibility, unless one makes this inquiry, write this down, he is not on the platform of human being. जब तक कोई व्यक्ति ये जिज्ञासा व्यक्त नहीं करता, तब तक उसमें और पशु में कोई अंतर नहीं. I'm sorry, I forget to speak in Hindi. Keep reminding me if I forget. वेदांत सूत्र का पहला सूत्र ये है, क्योंकि अथातो means therefore, because you have human body, make inquiry. Somebody wanted to see this slide again. Okay. So human beings have higher intelligence to find out cause of sufferings. Why do people die? Somebody can say, what an absurd inquiry this. Everybody is dying. No. Dying is a abnormal condition of life. Getting diseased is an abnormal condition of life. Becoming old is an abnormal condition of life. So many other sufferings are abnormal condition of life. It means if it is abnormal, some normal condition also exists, which we are not aware of. To inquire the purpose of life. If I ask you, what is the purpose of your life? Trust me, your purpose will be around those 4 seed propensities only, not higher purpose. To harmonize our life with God and nature, to understand what the laws of nature and comply with them, follow them, and then not get limited to occasional temporary happiness, but attain eternal happiness. Why? Because we are special. We are special. In terms of consciousness, in terms of intelligence, human beings are far, far superior to animals. So, if one makes inquiry, he is elevated to higher life, higher level of happiness, unadulterated happiness. If one does not make this inquiry, he is demoted to lower forms like animals. 84 lakh species, only 4 lakh human beings. So people who do not make such inquiries and live like animals, they are demoted to the balanced 80 lakh species of life. This is the law of nature, as simple as that. If I use this body for the purpose it is meant for, I will be awarded this body again. If I don't, nature will take away this facility. For example, let's say a company gives me a car. Okay. Company gives me Mercedes car for official purpose. To go to office, to meet customer, to go to client, to go to vendor. Isn't it? That is the purpose of car. If I use this car for my own enjoyment, take my family for a trip on holidays, and company comes to know that I'm misusing this facility of car, what will company do? Will take away the car next year. Yes or no? If I don't serve the purpose for which this facility has been given to me, this facility will be withdrawn. Similarly, the human body has certain purpose to achieve. If you don't serve that purpose with this human body, that human body will be withdrawn. Why? Because we have animal propensities, seed propensities. So this inquiry makes all the difference. Once we make inquiry, trust me, all answers are available in our scriptures. Just a matter of making this beginning of asking why. Why am I suffering and what is the goal of life? 2 important questions one needs to ask. Why am I suffering? Why do I have so many problems in life? As I mentioned, when somebody is diseased, it is not a normal condition, it is an abnormal condition. There is a normal condition of being healthy. Similarly, if I'm suffering is not a normal condition, it's a normal condition. It means there is a state of no suffering also. What is the goal of life? Is it eating? Is it sleeping? Is it defending? Or something beyond eating, sleeping, mating, and defending? Why am I suffering is the first question. According to Bhagavad Gita, there are 4 real problems of life. 4 real problems. A problem can be a real problem if it is common to everyone. Nobody wants it and nobody can avoid it. Then it's a problem to be solved. Okay. The four real problems which are common to everyone, you and me and everyone in this session or outside, but nobody wants it. At the same time, nobody can escape from these problems. What are these problems? We want to remain young forever, but very soon we start growing old, isn't it? So this old age is one problem. Tell me, out of all of you, anyone who would like to become old, given a choice, that you have a choice not to become old, anyone would like to become old? Anyone who is old or knocking towards the old age, he knows what are the problems that come with the old age. You can't see properly, you can't hear properly. If you sit down, you can't get up properly. If you're standing, you can't sit properly. So many problems. You become completely dependent on others. Even to go to toilet, you need somebody's help. You can't digest your food. Always, your mind is full of anxieties. Nobody wants old age. But material solution to avoid old age is cosmetic industry. I used to sell, when I was working in Unilever, I used to sell many cosmetics to make people, believe that they can become young once again. By using our products. No, they can't. They can only hide this problem. They can't resolve this problem. No material solution to old age. But everybody, wants to remain young forever, but can't avoid it, can't escape it. Okay. We can only keep pictures of our childhood and be happy that someday I used to be like this. Sweet memories. I'll not spend much time. We want to remain healthy always, but we become sick. We catch so many diseases. Unavoidable. Nobody wants it. Nobody can escape it. None of you can claim that you never felt sick throughout your life. Can somebody claim? No one. So old age, disease, and finally, death. 100% guaranteed. No one wants it. Everybody is fearful of this moment. And what is the source of these three problems? Old age, disease, and death. The beginning is with birth. So along with birth, old age takes birth. Along with birth, disease takes birth. Along with birth, death takes place. Correct? So the problem of all is this birth. Happy birthday to you. Bhagavad Gita says these four are the real problems of life. If one has to solve some problem, spend time solving these problems. Then you're a human being. Otherwise, if you're solving eating problems, sleeping problems, and animals are also solving this problem. Janma Vrityu Jara Vyadhi Dukkha Dosha Darshanam. One who can see the real problems in these birth, disease, old age, and death, he is in real knowledge. Why? Because if he sees them as problems, he will ask why. Why do I get old? Why do I get disease? Why do I get death? He'll make this inquiry and certainly he'll find answer because answer exists. Answer exists to solve these problems. Jan Mrityu Jara Vyadi Dukh Dosha No Darshanam. He is able to see that these are the real problems of life, and hence he seeks help from superior truth to solve these problems. That differentiates spiritual life from material life. So spiritual life is to solve these problems eternally. And other than these four, there are three more mentioned in our scriptures. One is called Adhyatmika Klesha. Second is called Adhibhautika Klesha. Third is called Adhidaivika Klesha. Means one, problems created by our own body and mind. Adhibhautika, problems given by other living entities. Yeah. And the Devika Klesha means given by demigods, by nature. Okay. Let's just quickly see what are these problems. Problems of body and mind we understand. Not very difficult to understand. We all suffer these problems given by body and mind. Depression, tension, stress, suicide tendency. These are all mental problems. Heart attack, cancer, they are all physical bodily problems. Everybody suffers. These are called Adhyatmika Klesha, miseries due to mind and body. And then Adhibhautika means given by other living entities, including insects, animals, by your near and dear ones. Husband giving problems to wife giving problems to husband, mother-in-law, daughter-in-law, boss, subordinate, client. They all give us problems. Insects, mosquitoes, they all give us problems. These are called Adhibhautika Klesha. No one can escape these problems. And third one is called Adhidaivika. Daivika means given by nature, given by demigods. Tsunami, flood, famine, inflation. I'll show you one video. Just one second. Let me switch on audio. Can you hear now? Can you hear? No?
Of buildings fell to the streets. People rushed for cover.
The skyscrapers nearby were swaying like trees in the wind.
I did think at one point that I really might die here.
And then round two as the tsunami sirens wail.
You're seeing live footage of a tsunami engulfing the port area.
When the ominous Black Sea attacked this island nation Friday, it left behind a massive trail of destruction that is getting worse by the hour.
A giant tsunami wave crashes into the Fukushima Daiichi power plant, seriously damaging the building's reactors.
The Japanese Prime Minister Naoto Kan said today the disaster is the worst crisis for Japan since World War II.
The National Weather Service in Birmingham, Alabama has issued a tornado warning for Tuscaloosa County. A tornado warning means that a tornado has been spotted heading for your area. Seek shelter in an interior.
This has been the country's worst and deadliest tornado outbreak since the Great Depression.
Governor Deal declared a state of emergency in 16 counties.
You think the death toll will go up?
Yes, sir, and we do.
Oh, gosh, that is a monster tornado.
The tornado moved slowly 6 miles through the center of Joplin. The town is now effectively cut in half.
It was just crazy. It was like a jumbo jet was landing on your house.
I love you.
It's just flattened.
I really was not prepared for what I saw when I got down here.
Search and rescue crews sift through the rubble trying to locate missing loved ones, and the death toll moves past 100.
So, who is responsible for these kind of problems? These are called Adhidaivika, something which is completely beyond our control, controlled by, demigods, Mother Nature. So, we may be very advanced in medical science. We cannot solve these problems forever. Yeah, we have never been able to solve. We will never be able to solve these problems. And hence we need somebody else's intervention to solve this problem. Material problems cannot be solved by material solutions. Note it down. Universal fact. Material problems cannot be solved by material solutions. So, any amount of advancement, science advancement, cannot put a full stop to all these sufferings. That's the reality of life. You must recognize sooner or later. So we can hide problems, like we can, old age, white hair, we can dye and try to, become young, or use facelift to avoid wrinkles, use painkillers, use oxygen. But we can't solve the perennial problems, the root causes of these problems. So we hide them for a certain time. But intelligent person looks for the root cause. He will ask why. Isn't it? And answer to this why is available. So it's a very intelligent question. Why? People don't ask, they don't know. As simple as that. Einstein asked why this apple fell down. He got the answer. So if you start asking why old age, why disease, why death, why birth, answers are available. Trust me. Now, what is the root cause of all these problems? We are living a very unnatural life, like fish out of water. This is the root cause. Like you take fish out of water and try to make fish happy by giving various material comforts, television, mobile, air conditioner, ornaments. Will the fish be happy? Please give me answers. You take the fish out of water and then try to give all possible comforts of life. Will the fish be happy? No. Why? Why? Because fish is not in its natural condition of life. Being out of water is unnatural to the fish, so any amount of material comfort will not satisfy her, will not make the fish happy. Similarly, we are living a very unnatural life. Any amount of material progress will not make us happy, will not make us satisfied. And the purpose of this journey or self-realization is to find what is our natural condition, a natural state in which we can be always happy like fish in water. So for fish to be happy, only condition is it should remain in water. That's it. Similarly, for us to be happy always is to be aware of what is my natural state of life in which I can be eternally happy, always happy, irrespective of what is happening externally. Okay? So the purpose of these 5 sessions is to understand what is the state and how to attain that state of life. What is water equivalent for us? Okay. So next question is, so many miseries in this material world. We saw Adi Atmik, Adi Bhautik, Adi Daivik, Janma Mrityu, Jara Vyadi. The question is why somebody has made this kind of miserable material world? Is it not a good question? Yeah. Who has made and why he has made something like this, which is giving us problems? Everybody, but without exception, is suffering. None of you can claim you never had any disease. None of you can claim you will never become old. None of you can claim you will never die. Why this kind of word? All these are abnormal disease conditions of life. So in the next session, we'll try to find out who and why. Who has made? Who is this person who has made this, this kind of world where people suffer, and why he has made this kind of material world? Okay. So we'll try to find answers to these questions in the next session. So the conclusion is 4 common biological instincts between human beings and animals are eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. It is dharma, or the spiritual aspect of life, which differentiates human beings from animals. Basic inquiries of life and beyond. Okay. Like, why am I suffering, and what is the purpose of human life? What are these real sufferings? Right? We discuss about 4 plus 3, 7 sufferings. And no amount of material progress can remove these real sufferings. No amount. We can maybe spend another century advancing materially, we will never find solution to these problems. And why has someone made such material world? This we'll try to answer in the next session. Okay. So now it's open for questions. So you have a choice to raise hand. I can unmute, or Lina, you can unmute. Or you can also write. Chat might be difficult to. You know how to raise your hand electronically? That is better. अपना सिस्टम में हाथ उठाएंगे तो जल्दी पता लग जाएगा. Yes, Mr. Gupta.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
This is Mrs. Gupta. So, yeah. What is a natural state or natural condition which you were just talking about?
थोड़ा धैर्य रखिए, आएगा, पता लगेगा. So let the right time come to understand what is a natural state. So it'll be answered in the 4th or 5th session. So
thank you.
Best to keep some patience. Thank you. Anyone else? Yes, Shankar ji, boliye.
Good afternoon, sir. Hello. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Shankar.
See, I'm attending this session. Is it pre-planned, or it is by chance I got the chance to attend the session? I mean, it is, my question is, it is because, we talk, whatever is happening, it is all planned. So is it something like that?
Yes. It is superior plan of some superior authority to bring all of you here. It is not by chance. Nothing happens by chance. Trust me. Nothing happens. Everything is a pre-made arrangement. If someone has any desire somewhere in the corner of your heart, so now arrangement has been done to fulfill those desires, to find answers to those questions. So when I shared this in LinkedIn, this poster, almost 3,000 to 4,000 people saw this. Out of 3,000-4,000 people, out of those set of people, only 5 registered. Why only 5? So when we see such, we don't get surprised, because not everybody is qualified for these inputs. Manushya Nam Sahastreshu. Out of thousands, one will inquire. Not everyone. So you're very fortunate. Again and again, I'll say that you got access to this knowledge. Abhi it's just a beginning. Trust me, you'll see many more truths of life getting revealed in the next few sessions. Yes, Mr. Mahajan.
My question to you is, what has made excuse me, human beings drift towards materialistic things which have brought more miseries than happiness, and how to reverse this trend?
एक बार फिर से पूछिए. I'm sorry, आपका नेटवर्क बीच में जा रहा था.
Okay, my question is, what has made human beings drift towards materialistic things which have brought more miseries than happiness, and how to reverse this trend?
Yes, very good question. So his question is, what made us drift from what we are supposed to do and get attracted to material ways of life, and how do you reverse this? You know, there are 4 yugas: Satyug, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, and please the 4th one, Kali Yuga. And dharma, what we say, has 4 pillars. 4 स्तंभ होते हैं धर्म के. In Satyug, the dharma was standing on all the 4 pillars. It means people were very spiritual, very dharmic. And the impact of that was people used to live a life of 1 lakh years. So life in Satyuga was 1 lakh years. 100,000 years one used to live for. Their height used to be 32 feet. Can you imagine? 32 feet height, 1 lakh years was the age. When it came to Treta Yuga, one of the pillars of these 4 pillars got destroyed: austerity. I'll talk about it. This is also going to come in the next few sessions. Human age became 10,000 years and height became some 20 odd feet. Then came Dwapar Yuga. 2 of the pillars got destroyed. Dharma standing on 2 legs, not 4 legs. Age became 1,000 years. In Kali Yuga, 3 pillars destroyed. Dharma is standing only on 1 pillar. And the age is 100 years. 100 years this Kali Yuga started with. The age of Kali Yuga is 4,32,000 years. How much? Just repeat. 4,32,000 years is the age of Kali Yuga. And only 5,000 years have passed. So we are yet to see what is Kali Yuga. Srimad Bhagavatam in 12th canto, it is already described what are the symptoms of Kali Yuga going forward. It's all predicted. You can read Bhagavatam. Right. So enjoyment, independent enjoyment is a root cause. You know, keeping God out of picture. Dharma rakshati rakshita. If you protect dharma, dharma will protect you. If you destroy dharma, dharma will destroy you. This is the principle of life. Dharma rakshati rakshita. If you protect dharma, like Satya people protected, they all were protected, lived long, happily, peaceful. In Kali Yuga, people have destroyed dharma and hence they are suffering. Now, to reverse is to find answers in the pages of scriptures like Gita and Bhagavatam. That's why we have sessions like Journey of Self-Discovery. This is only a foundation course. When I say foundation, means it is first to bring clarity. What is spiritual life? People don't even know what is spiritual life. Who is God? How is it different from demigods? What is this material nature? What is the role of material nature? Who am I? What is my constitution position? What is my natural position, like you mentioned? Right. So once we live in our natural condition as described in our scriptures, we can reverse this immediately. Immediately. So today we are living unnatural life. We have to start living natural life. Keeping God in the center, not away from our life. We cannot. We have seen the results. Why 1 lakh years has become now 60, 70 years? Just see the decline. This is not advancement. If your age falls from 1 lakh years to 70 years, how can we dare to call this as advancement? Yes or no? This is not advancement. Advancement is advancing towards our natural state of life. Okay, and we'll discover it. Today only we have started. We'll discover this, how to identify this natural state and how to live it and reverse the trend which we are facing today. Does it answer your question, Mr. Mahajan? Sorry, you need to unmute yourself.
Yeah. It answers my question partly, but what I'm worried is if you say that from 1 lakh year it has come down to 100 years, and Kali Yuga is just about 5,000 years past and another 4 lakh odd years yet to come in ahead. How to reverse this trend if Kali Yuga is going to create more and more materialistic things?
Yes, on personal level we can reverse the trend immediately. Okay, and then try as much as to propagate this understanding and change their life. As I mentioned, not everybody is in position to understand. Who can understand spiritual knowledge unless one is situated in the mode of goodness, Sattva Guna? Unless one is situated in Sattva Guna, he cannot understand this knowledge. In Kali Yuga, most people are situated in Tamoguna, Rajoguna. That's why they can't understand spiritual knowledge. Very difficult. So their lifestyle has been.
Don't we need?
Sorry.
Do we need too many Govindas ji globally to teach people, because people don't even know what they are supposed to do?
So that's
what we are listening today from you is life trend changing trend. But how many Govindas ji are there to educate people and people receptive to such sermons and such guidelines which you are suggesting?
That is the purpose of this program. So 50 years back, we had none. Now we have in every country. In every country, we have such programs happening. Right? So we invite people, we have 60 odd people sitting here in the group. Please understand, learn this, execute, experience it, and then become the role model, change agent, go and teach others. That is the purpose of, such sessions. I also attended such session 10 years back, 15 years back. Now I'm trying to give what I have understood. So expectation is you also understand, right? You all hold leadership positions in your respective circles and then propagate this knowledge, right? It will be a gradual journey. It will not be immediate. It will not be immediate because it requires some changes in our lifestyle, on ways of thinking, our ways of living. So not many people will come forward. But we have to keep trying. Like we have 60, 70 people. If the 60, 70 people go and run such programs, we can expect 60 into 60, 3,500 people. Everybody understand network marketing, to follow same principles here. Thank you, Mr. Mahajan.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yes, Dharmendra.
Hi, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Yes, please.
It was very nice to hear you, since I know you since our actual days, actually, Unilever days. You have been that time factory manager, and I was in HR. So it was very nostalgic moment for me to accept you as the current role, actually, from that whatever we have seen you, actually. So it was very surprising. It was very surprising for me, and it was very nostalgic to see you in this transitional path, actually. So it was very nice, first of all. And my question is that why we are going away from the spiritual life, spirituality? Why we are doing that, actually?
So The first thing is there is no knowledge which is given right at the beginning. So Bhagavatam says one should be exposed to spiritual knowledge when you are 5-year-old. How old? 5-year-old. That is the right age to start children getting exposed to spiritual life. And our understanding is spiritual life starts after retirement. The common understanding is spiritual life starts after we get retired. This is the misconception people carry and hence do not show any interest. They don't know the solution to all their problems lie here, nowhere else. Okay. It doesn't matter. It is never too late. Now, if you learn this, you will ensure that your child at least learns right from the early age. What you lost, you will ensure that your child doesn't lose opportunity. That is the purpose of such seminars. Right? It is like, at what age we should know we should put our hand into fire or not? Tell me. आग में हाथ नहीं डालना चाहिए, किस उम्र में सीखना चाहिए हमारे? After retirement? No. When we are able to understand, at 5 years, the child can understand. He should be told, don't put your hand into fire. He will understand. Similarly, he should be told what is life. He understands. No. Our children will tell you, like children of devotee community, they will give you answers which many scholars cannot give. Why? They are being exposed to this knowledge right from the beginning. So one is lack of education. Second is lack of association. Sangat sanjayate kama. Gita says, the kind of association you carry, the same kind of desires you develop. If you spend time with a drunkard, you develop a desire to drink. If you spend your time with a smoker, you develop desire to smoke. If you spend time with somebody who is leading a spiritual life, you tend to develop desires to lead a spiritual life. So you have to associate with the right set of people. Right? Rest, everything will follow. If you have right association, rest, everything is simply a consequence, is an outcome. Because you will develop positive, healthy desires to lead this kind of life. Yeah. So briefly to answer your question, these two things are very important: early education and right association. Okay. Thank you. Yes, Deepan Bhattji. Unmute करिए अपने आप को.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, sir. Thanks a lot for this enlightening knowledge. Sir, I just want to ask how to decide the parameter of satisfaction. What is the parameter of one's satisfaction?
Very good question. So let me first give you a shock. The shock is materially one can never be satisfied. This is a shock of life. However advancement we may make, we will never be satisfied. Now what is satisfaction? Satisfaction is when one can learn to live happy in any condition of life. This is satisfaction. Doesn't matter materially where am I placed, how much money do I have, doesn't matter, I'm happy. This is called satisfaction. That's why I said happiness is not a function of your possessions. How many, how much I have in my bank balance, or how big is my apartment, how big is my car, how much salary do I draw. Happiness is not a function. If that was the, what do you call success factor, or yardstick for success, then rich people would have been more happier. Is that the case? They are more anxious. They are going through more anxiety. So there is no relation between possessions and satisfaction, possessions and happiness. Happiness is a function of internal fulfillment, not external fulfillment. It lies deep inside, not outside. So we'll search that for the next few sessions. Okay. So this is satisfaction. And materially, no one is satisfied. And no one will be satisfied. So this satisfaction word should be removed from the dictionary. It never happened materially. Okay, does it answer your question? Yes, Mr. Deepan, are you satisfied?
I just want to satisfaction और जो content मतलब contentment होती है, ये both are synonyms or
you know, simplistically you can assume both are same. One is content with what he had, one is satisfied with what he has.
Heard.
One is
okay,
happy.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, anyone else? Because I can see only electronic hands. If you can raise your hands electronically, then it's nice. Kush. Hanji. Yes, Mr. Kush. Please go ahead.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Sir, what is the word destiny? मतलब किस्मत में है नहीं है या ये नहीं हुआ, किस्मत में नहीं था तो नहीं मिला, किस्मत में धोखा लिखा था तो धोखा हो गया, चीटिंग हो गई, पैसे खो गए, कुछ भी हो गया. What is this, sir?
Destiny is, let's say everybody has certain set of karmas. Okay. Now, it is not the only life we are living. We learned this in the, I think, fourth session, third session. We have lived many such lives in past. Okay. And all of those lives, we performed certain activities, some good, some bad. So we have a stockhouse, warehouse of such karmas. ठीक है, भरा पड़ा है. जैसे अरावली माउंटेन्स है ना हमारे उदयपुर के आसपास. So our warehouse of karmic reactions like those mountains, big mountains. Now from warehouse, you have to deliver certain order to your customer. You take out some stuff. You know? Suppose you have 10,000 bicycles. You know, there's an order of 5 bicycles. You take out 5 bicycles for delivery. Okay. So this life is basically some set of those karmic reactions taken out from their warehouse for execution. Okay, so our life is nothing but execution of our past karmic reactions. इसको बोलते हैं प्रारब्ध. क्या बोलते हैं? प्रारब्ध. So destiny is basically fixed amount of happiness and sorrow you will experience in this life. Fixed amount. It doesn't vary. You cannot change it. If you think, if I work for 20 hours a day, I can change my destiny. Sorry, you cannot. Materially, your destiny cannot be changed. Spiritually, destiny can be changed. Good news for you. Spiritually, you can change your destiny, but materially, you cannot change. Okay? So simply working hard cannot make us more happy. Okay? You have to work intelligently. Okay? Thank you. Okay, Mr. Mahajan again. Unmute करके बोलिए.
Govindaji, I have been in the corporate world for about 50 years like you, and for 30 years I have been working as CEO. I just took a retirement. Always have been working for implementing whatever we decide. आपने जो आज कहा है कि 5 साल के बच्चे को स्पिरिचुअलिटी अगर सिखाएं तो सारी सोसाइटी चेंज हो सकती है, and the trend can be reversed. Now my question to you is, Govindas ji, how can we implement it at a national level so that at least, if not the world, at least we change India? अगर ये डिसीजन मेकर्स और जो एजुकेशन वाला सिस्टम है उसमें अगर डाला जाए ये आपका थॉट, बिकॉज अगर मैं एक मिनट अगर मैं सीख जाऊं और अपने बच्चे को या ग्रैंड बच्चे को समझा दूं, दैट इज नॉट इनफ. इफ इट्स डन एट नेशनल लेवल, and education system. इसके भी 5 साल के को नहीं है, ऐसे करें तो ही देश बदल सकता है.
Yes.
और एज आई सेड कॉर्पोरेट वर्ल्ड में हम चाहते हैं रिजल्ट कैसे आए. आप कॉर्पोरेट वर्ल्ड में हम चाहते हैं कि रिजल्ट कैसे आए. तो आपका थॉट इतना प्रोवोकिंग है और इतना असरदार है मेरे हिसाब से, तो सिस्टम में नेशनल लेवल पे ये करिकुलम का पार्ट बन जाए, ताकि अगली एटलीस्ट इन 30 years वी हैव अ जनरेशन which is spiritually strong, and then the reverse trend would be started.
Yes, your point is absolutely valid, Mr. Mahajan.
Thank you.
Very nice input. In fact, very nice input you have given. In fact, we are trying at different levels to bring this alive in our community, at local level, at national level, and at global level, right? So there are teams working along with the government to bring it alive as a part of our curriculum, right? You can understand, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen so easily, because, there are many people who support. There are many people who do not support such ideas, such initiatives. It will happen gradually. What is important is, Gandhiji said, you be the change. What did he say? You be the change you want to bring, correct? So first we have to implement at our personal level. That is important. We can change the system. That is second step. First step is change myself, because that is within my control. I don't have to take approvals from government authorities. I don't have to take approval from many other people if I want to bring change in my life. That is completely within our hand. So first make a change in my personal capacity, what I can do, and become a role model. As I mentioned, many of you are leaders in your respective circles, correct? If you follow this process, many people will get influence along with you. So let's first be, that change, start with me, then go up. When we implement this change with our personal life, we get convinced it works, then we'll also become change agents. Then maybe one day you will be taking such sessions with hundreds of people in front of you. Isn't it? Job is done.
Yeah. No, thank you. I know. Your objective is to create more Govindas ji so that they can spread a message.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Bansal. Dr. Bansal. अनम्यूट करके बोलिए. अनम्यूट करके बोलिए. अनम्यूट कीजिए.
हेलो.
हाँ जी.
Who introduced God to us?
Who introduced
God to us?
Who can introduce? Only he himself can introduce. Nobody else can introduce. Right?
He himself is Krishna.
Yes. So
is it Krishna?
In Bhagavad Gita,
he introduced only 5,000 years back.
No. 5,000 years back, it was spoken once again. It was not the first time. Krishna tells Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita, the first time he spoke this knowledge to none other than Sun God. So Sun God is the first recipient of Bhagavad Gita, not Arjuna. Okay. So this knowledge came at the time of creation. Okay.
Creation.
So when we talk about, maybe next session, we'll briefly touch upon the subject. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Dhanyavad.
Thank you. Okay. Anyone else? Mr. Hota.
Yeah, it's really destiny. I believe yesterday you spoke and today I'm attending. So before yesterday, I was not aware of this program.
You should say thank you to Mr. Joss.
Yes.
He
yes.
became.
Yeah, he became, and I have invited my son also. He is also part of this program. He is attending.
Very nice.
Okay, so that is because he's just the beginning his professional career, and I want him to be, understand the value of the life, so that he will be in the right path. So it's very, very, interesting. The first session. I hope all the sessions will be very, very interesting, and there will be some, learnings to our value system.
Yes, certainly. Thank you very much. Yes, Pallavi ji.
प्रणाम प्रभु जी, मुझे ये पूछना था, आपने कहा कि सब कुछ प्लान होता है ईश्वर के द्वारा, तो फिर कर्मा क्या होता है?
कर्मा का रिजल्ट कौन देता है? किसके हाथ में है? Who decides what is the result to be given to our actions? Who is the final sanctioning authority? It is God. So if God wants, He can take care of all your reactions. For example, कोई जेल में जाता है कैदी, है ना, उसका अच्छा बर्ताव होता है, तो जेलर उसकी एप्लीकेशन लगाता है प्रेसिडेंट को, है ना, कि उसके सारे जितने भी जुर्म हैं उसको माफ कर दिया जाए, उसको जेल से छुटकारा दे दिया जाए. If president wants, he can relieve and release that prisoner immediately. हो सकता है उसकी 20 साल की उम्र, क्या बोलते हैं, 20 साल की कैद बाकी है, लेकिन प्रेजेंट चाहे तो उसको रिहा कर सकता है. करेक्ट? तो इसी तरह से हमारे कर्मों के कारण हो सकता है कि हमको बहुत दुख मिल रहे हैं, एक्सीडेंट होना है, बहुत विपदाएं आनी है. बट इफ द सैंक्शनिंग अथॉरिटी वांट्स, सुप्रीम प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ दिस यूनिवर्स वांट्स to release us, he has the authority to release us. He can intervene. वो हस्तक्षेप करके छुटकारा दिला सकते हैं. ठीक है, तो ये रिलेशनशिप है कर्मों और भगवान के अंदर. ठीक है, जब हम लॉ ऑफ कर्मा पढ़ेंगे चौथे दिन, तब ज्यादा चर्चा करेंगे इसके बारे में. ठीक है. Yes, Mr. Joss. Mr. Joss was my boss in Johnson and Johnson.
No. But I'm, Manish, I'm extremely happy to see you proud. I was talking to some of the senior Johnsonian, and we are transformations, and I'm seeing after 20 years, and many regards, and you are really contributing to the society's growth. And I always believe that, spirituality is the only happiness. You might have seen me in a very rough manner, but as I'm progressing, I realize that that is the only thing in happiness. All the best to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, Kush Maneria ji. I'm happy to see so many questions. Asking question is a reflection of our intelligence. Always remember this. Yes.
सर, लाइक जो पास्ट होता है उसमें कुछ जानने या अनजाने में गलतियां भी हुई, कुछ पाप भी हो गया, उसको मतलब क्या करें कि हाँ अब उससे उभर सके, या प्रभु अब जो नाराजगी उनकी कम हो सके, कुछ हो सके सर?
उसका सोल्यूशन है, वो हम चौथे दिन बात करेंगे.
और तो ओके सर, थैंक यू.
आपको इसका उत्तर जरूर मिलेगा, निश्चित रूप से मिलेगा.
ओके सर.
Thank you. I'm sorry, some answers I am postponing because you need to understand a few more things to understand this answer. Otherwise, it might be immature to, reveal such answer at this stage. Okay. और कोई किसी का प्रश्न है? Any question anyone has? It's 1 o'clock, 2 hours already. Yes, Mr. Hota.
या मुझे जस्ट पूछना है, बिकॉज मेरे बेटे ने जो अभी इस प्रोग्राम अटेंड कर रहा है, आई डोंट नो ही इज लिसनिंग और नॉट एट प्रेजेंट, बट उसने कुछ दिन पहले भागवत गीता को खरीदा है, एंड इंटरेस्ट क्या है मुझे मालूम नहीं, बट उसने खरीदा है पढ़ने के लिए. सम गाइडलाइंस और सम गाइडेंस हाउ टू रीड, हाउ टू स्टार्ट रीडिंग और अंडरस्टैंडिंग भगवत गीता.
Yes, very good. So first guidance is one must understand some basic concepts before you read Bhagavad Gita. Okay. Which is this session, these 5 sessions. That's why we call this foundation before we read Bhagavad Gita. Second, Bhagavad Gita is to be understood, studied under guidance. You will find Bhagavad Gita in everybody's house, but they don't know what is inside Bhagavad Gita. Many people have read Bhagavad Gita many times, but they don't know what is the essence of Bhagavad Gita. Why? 2 important things. One, it should be understood, studied under guidance. And second, there is a process to read Bhagavad Gita. Just simply opening book and reading does not serve the purpose. And what is the process? We'll discuss every 5th day. Okay, and I have a plan for all of you. After these 5 sessions, we'll make some arrangement, for all of you to understand Bhagavad Gita. Don't worry, systematically. Okay. Okay, anyone else? Okay, if there are no more questions, then we'll wind up. Thank you very much, everyone. I hope you all made notes, of this session so that you can revise over the next 5-6 days. And next session is also very, very important. So my humble request, don't miss that. Plan it properly so that you don't have any other priority during the same time. Be available next Sunday at the same time, 11 o'clock. During the week, if you have any question, you can either, write to me or wait for next session and answer those questions. Okay. Thank you very much. See you next Sunday, 11 o'clock.